Afternoon. Thank you very much, guys, for having me. I'm very happy to be here. Actually, I'm gonna start off this webinar by saying that I was on vacation and just came just for you guys this afternoon, do this awesome webinar, and I feel that at this stage it's very important to know how to reset your tablets or your Mat Connect for the next student that is going to start the new school year with a fresh unit. So let's go with it. It's going to be a bit technical because there's a lot of components that we have to think of when we're resetting the tablet. I'm going to try to go also slow. This is a repeat from last month. I think it was that we did this webinar. So I'm gonna, and one of the comments was that I was going a bit too fast. So because it's, like I said, it's a bit technical. So I'm gonna try to go a bit slower and do step by step with you guys. And if you have any questions during these steps, please do use the chat to ask your questions and I'll try to answer them. So I'm just gonna switch to my other camera here, which is gonna be facing my Mat Connect that I have already set up here. And let's get this show on the road. Okay, so I have my Mat Connect set up here. So the first thing that you want to do when resetting a tablet is to go into Android. And the most critical part is to, oops, I got a blurry screen right now. Let me try to get that back. Huh. Okay, well, what you want to try to do is to remove the account, the Google account that was set up on the Mat Connect. So what you want to do is that you want to go into all your applications and find the settings application, which here, these are all alphabetically classified. So you just go and take a look for settings, tap on it. And then in settings, you have several options. And one of the options under the device section is apps. So if you tap on that, oh, sorry, not apps. I want account. So what I want is account, and that's going to be more in the personal section. So accounts, you tap on that, and here you'll have all the accounts that were configured for that Mat Connect. And right now I have one. I have my Google account that was synced to this Mat Connect. And once you click on it, what you want to do is that you want to remove that account automatically, because if you don't do that, you're going to be locked out from the Mat Connect once you're going to be reinitializing and rebooting the tablet at factory reset. It's to prevent, let's say, your tablet has been stolen and somebody wants to use it. While having that Google account there and asking for the password when resetting the tablet, it prevents from fraud to be used on it. So what you want to do at first, if you don't have the password of that Google account, but always do it, it's a good thing to do, is to remove that Google account. So I am in my Google account, and I have on the top right corner, I have three little dots that is on the top right corner, right under the time. So you tap on that, and when I tap on that, there's two options, either to sync now or remove the account. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove the account. And then on the pop-up, I'm just going to say remove account. And that's going to remove all my things that are on the tablet. So my contacts, things like that, that are already synced to my account. Don't worry, you won't lose anything if it's synced to that account. Once you're going to connect back to the Mat Connect or any other devices, it's going to sync back and you'll get all that information back on your device. So once you've done that, you can move back into the settings, and then we're going to select again in the personal section of the settings. You'll select backup and reset. So if I tap on that, here I have several options, but the last option at the bottom is factory data reset. So I'm going to tap on that. Then it's going to explain to you that it's going to erase everything that's on the tablet, including your Google account, your system and apps, downloaded apps, your music, your photos. But if everything is synced to your Gmail, that's already in the cloud now, and you won't be losing that, but you're going to be losing it, what's downloaded or what's installed on this tablet. So what I want to do is I'm going to reset tablet. I'm going to tap that button, reset tablet. Then it's just going to confirm, are you very, very sure that you want to reset your tablet? So yes, I want to erase everything. So what it's going to do, it's going to erase everything and it's going to restart your tablet. And then once you're going to be restarted in the tablet, it's all going to be brought back to the factory version that when you first got the tablet. Yeah, so like I said, if there's, do we have any questions? I don't know who's going to be reading out the questions here in the chat for me, if we do have any questions.
If the same student is using it, do we need to reboot to factory setting?
You don't have to. If the same student is using it, you don't have to reset it to factory reset. She or he will have all their documents that have been imported in Prodigy, or all their configuration, it's all set up. So you don't have to reset it if it's going to be the same student.
Okay, and if it is a new device out of the box, will they have to reset?
No, if it's a new device out of the box, well, we're going to do the steps. You're going to do the same steps as a reset anyways. So you'll be going through the tutorial and everything is already cleared for you. So you don't need to do that. If it's the first time opening the box and getting it out, you don't have to do these procedures.
Okay, back to you.
Good. So right now, like you saw here while I was talking, you had a little a little green Android that was on the screen there. That's your Android booting up. And then you're going to be here for it's a minute or two on the HumanWare splash screen. It's right now it's erasing everything and installing or resetting everything on your Android devices right here.
And while we're waiting for that,
yeah, this could be a good time for the poll question.
Right, and also, can we get that glare off that one right-hand corner? Is that possible?
I'll try.
You'll try, I know. You'll get a glare one side or the other. Here, there you go.
You saw my basement. Everybody's working from home, right? So I'm working in my basement.
That's a little better right there. That does help.
Is it better?
That helps,
Yeah.
yes. Okay, so I'm going to launch the poll. We are interested in knowing a little bit about what you think. The first question in this bank of 2 questions is, in your observation of your students, what is the most used feature of the Mac Connect? So when you've been observing your students, what are they using the most? The magnifier, the distance camera, the Android tablet component, the calculator, the book reader, the notes application, or is there some other component of the Mac Connect feature that they're using the most? So that's your reflection of when you observe your students. The second question, as a teacher, what do you see as the most valuable feature of the Mac Connect? It might not be what they're using the most, but you see it as the most valuable feature. Is it the same choices? Magnifier, distant camera, Android tablet, calculator, book reader, notes application, or something else? So again, the first one is what your students use the most. And the second is, what do you see as the most valuable? And we know that does not always match what our students are using when we see that. And you're welcome to put your information in the chat as well so that we can see. And you're getting a few people saying that there's several features that they value, and that is okay. It's nice to know what it is that you're finding helpful about this device. And then, of course, what we can work on encouraging our students to use more. I'll give it one more minute to let you answer. And I'm going to end the poll and let's share the results. So from those of you that are actively utilizing a Mac Connect with a student, you are finding 47% are finding that the students use the magnifier the most. That's their most used tool. 37% the distance camera. 7% is other, and I know for some of you it's just that you don't have a student and that was your other. 5% the tablet, 2% the book reader, and 2% the notes application. Then what do you find the most valuable as a teacher? And 35% are saying the distance camera is the most valuable component. 18 the magnifier and 18 the Android tablet combined, 9% book reader, 4% calculator, 2% other. And then we did have 16% in the chat who just couldn't pick their device and felt the need to tell us that they couldn't pick and picked a few of them. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing those results and give it back to you, Eric.
Good. So I was reading the chat. I was reading the chat there, and somebody, a TVI that doesn't even know what the Mat Connect is. So just a little summary on the Mat Connect. It is a very portable CCTV. It's an Android tablet that undocks from a stand, which you can bring with you, or you can dock it on the stand and use the nice LEDs and have that comfortable positioning for your student in a classroom or a professional in that case also. Just a little summary on the Mat Connect. So, all right, so we've resetted our tablet and we're brought to the first page of the Google tutorial. So each time you buy, let's say a tablet, an Android tablet or an Android phone, you'll get this tutorial. And basically it's just the basic setups for your tablet or for your phone. So the first question that it asks you is what language you want to use. So I'm gonna choose English USA. I'm gonna press that yellow arrow, and then it's going to ask you to select a Wi-Fi so that you can connect to the internet and get the most recent update from the Android or the apps that are being installed on the Mat Connect or on the tablet. So here I'm just going to choose my home Wi-Fi, which everybody close their eyes, and I'm just going to write my password, and then I'm going to connect. You don't have to do it at this stage, but you can do it later on. But I always like to do it at this stage because then you get everything's going to start downloading at the same time. Now, if you get this page that pops up, it's a Prodigy page that pops up and says that you need to download the most recent version. Don't do it right now because we're going to finish the tutorial and then we're going to go and update Prodigy. So what you want to do if you do get this page, you just hit the cancel button and we'll get back to that. Okay, because we're going to finish that tutorial and then we're going to address everything to the Prodigy. And here you can sync your data to another device, but in my case here, I'm just going to select no thanks. I'm going to select next at the bottom of the screen. And this is going to be the same for each Mat Connect that you'll be doing. Here, it's going to ask you, you want to sync a Google account. You can do so now or later. It doesn't matter. If you don't do it now, you can do it later. Here, I'm just going to let me do it later. I'm just going to skip. So if you want to do it later, you just press the skip, and then there's going to be a pop-up saying you want to skip. Yes, I want to skip for now. And then you can give it a name. You can give it a first name, last name for the Mat Connect, whose Mat Connect it is, but you don't have to. So I'm just going to click next again. And then it's going to ask you if you want to sync other accounts to this Mat Connect. And I'm just going to select here, not now, but you can sync a Hotmail account, an Outlook account, an Exchange account. If you're using Exchange in your school, you can use that also to sync other accounts. You can add some protection. So here the protection is either a sign or a 4-digit PIN number that you can enter. I'm not going to do this for this tutorial, but you can do that and then determine what PIN or what pattern that you want to use when starting or logging into your Mat Connect. So I'm going to skip this for now. Yes, I want to skip anyways. In this screen, well, it's going to ask you, you want to keep the tracking of the location where this Mat Connect is going to be. You want to improve the location by using the Wi-Fi. Do you want to help Android experience by giving some feedback to Google? You can choose to keep them all on, or you can turn them off. I usually turn them off because I don't want to be bothered by these things. Plus, I'm kind of like a control freak. I don't like having my location given to Google, so I kind of turn that off for now. If I do need it, I turn it on afterwards. But let's turn it off, and then click the next. And that's it. So now the tablet has been resetted and we're at factory default right now. You got that green background, which is the default background, and you got all the apps that have been installed for the Android part of things, and the Play Store and your slides, your YouTube, everything has been installed and reset it. And what you want to do now is to install Prodigy. So we're going to go and click on that circle right in the middle of the screen, the bottom, which has 6 little dots in it. So it's a white icon with 6 little dots in it. You tap on that to get all your applications that are installed on the tablet. And what you want to do is you search for Prodigy Updater. Prodigy Updater is always going to be installed. It's always going to be there at initial load. And you just press on that. And if you're connected to a Wi-Fi, it's going to go and download all the applications for you. First time you start an application, usually Android asks you for permission. So you do click allow on this pop-up. And then you're going to see a familiar pop-up, which was the same pop-up that we saw previously. But in this case, I'm going to tap on install. And what it's going to do, the install, it's going to be downloading 6 applications that we use in Prodigy, and then it's going to start installing them. So right now, as you can see, I'm going pretty fast here in my download. So I'm at 4 out of 6 right now. So once downloaded, like I said, automatically it's going to start installing the application suites for Prodigy. So if we have another poll question, this is the time, guys, if you want to.
We actually did not set up another one. So we have a couple questions that I'll answer while that's loading.
Okay.
One is going over the book reader and using the bookshelf. And you've done one prior, so we do have how to use Bookshare and how to use the bookshelf and use the book reader on our recordings.
Yeah, well, we can take a look on how to connect to a Bookshare using the Books application in Prodigy. We can do that also towards the end of the setup here. We can do that also.
Amy or Paul, did you see any questions that I'm missing?
I didn't see anything else.
Good. So it's a procedure. There's quite a few steps on this procedure. Like you see, it's not really a hard procedure to follow, but if you follow all the steps, you should be fine. Everything should run smoothly. You just have to be patient, like in the install right now, it's installing. It's going to take a couple of minutes here to install, basically because they're big applications usually. And once these are installed, the first thing that we're going to do is that we're going to install the voices that we want to use for the TTS. And TTS stands for text to speech. So it's going to be reading out everything in my menus. Oh, so my package failed. That's good, right in a live webinar. So don't panic. We're just going to click OK. And we're going to redo. When that happens, that means that my package was downloaded and there was an error in my package, and I'm just gonna re-download the updates. Just hoping that it's not gonna do it again. Then we're gonna really start troubleshooting, and you're gonna have a live troubleshooting. No cursing.
Well, the nice thing is we know it happens to us all.
It does, and you don't freak out. We're just gonna redo the procedure, or sometimes just a good reset helps a lot also. Hoping this is gonna work.
So can you tell me a little bit more about what comes with the Mac Connect when you get the kit?
Yeah, of course. When you buy the Mac Connect, you get the tablet, you get the stand that goes with the tablet. You also have a nice stylus. It's a bit bigger than this one here, but a rubber tip stylus that you can use to take notes and annotation on your captured images or your imported PDFs if you want. You also have a screen protector. You have a carrying case. Yeah, you got all the power connection. If you're traveling, you have all the other power connections, let's say for Europe or UK, you can use that. And yeah, so it comes with it, so you can just change it so that your you're able to charge it when you're moving around or when you're traveling. On the top of my head, I think that's
I
basically it.
think you did
Oh,
it
you
pretty
get,
good.
no, I think we forgot the distance camera also that we're going to
You
be talking a
did.
bit. But we'll be talking about the distance camera very soon as now we saw that the package was installed, and I got my Prodigy that is installed right now on my tablet. So if I tap on that, on the little icon, the first thing is to install my language that I want to use. Usually in the United States, it's going to be English and maybe Spanish, but let's just install one. You can install up to 2 voices, so you can switch between 2 voices at a time. That's the maximum that you can get. For this example, I'm just going to select Heather for United States, so it's my English. Once you've selected it, as you saw here, there's a little checkbox that appeared on the right-hand side. That means I've selected it. I'm just going to hit the back button on the top screen on the top left corner, and then tap on the little paper airplane, which is in the other corner, the right-hand side corner. And that's what it's going to do. It's going to download the voices and install the voice. So I see that we have a little question there in the chat.
We do. If you've been following along with your own device, but it still has not fired up from the original setting from the first step, how long is too long to wait, and could this be a different problem?
I would just keep it on. If you're in the middle of resetting the tablet, it's gonna do the full thing. I wouldn't try to reset it while doing this, because sometimes it could be in the middle of installing the system, and if you reset it in the middle of installing the system, things can go wrong, and then you're stuck there and you can't boot anymore. So just be patient. It could take, I saw, about 5 to 10 minutes sometimes. It all depends on what has to be removed and installed. So it all depends on each device. So we got the voice installed, as we can see, and Prodigy has started. So you got the same screen as we started with. So we got all the applications that were installed back to my device. And also, if I go into Android, you'll notice that the background changed with the APH logo in the background. So just a little thing here. If I hit the home button, I'm gonna get a little pop-up, which you don't really see well on the screen right now, but the options that are gonna be in this window, it's either Prodigy or Launcher 3. Launcher 3 is what I call Android, is what the black background that I just showed you. And then Prodigy, well, it's Prodigy. So this is for your home application. You can change that. I can show you how to change that once it's set, but you want to select either one as your home application, or else it's always going to pop up. I always choose Prodigy. So I'm going to select Prodigy, and then at the bottom, it says always or just once. So I'm just going to click on always. And each time I'm going to hit that home button at the bottom of the screen, it's going to bring me back to my Prodigy software all the time. So it's my home base, it's my home application. Okay, so that wasn't too complicated. Now the next thing that I want to do is install all the applications that are going to show up in the APH toolbox. And to do this, I am going to share my screen, because we're going to have to go to the HumanWare website, and I'm going to show you where. And I think we have the link to that, guys, so we can share it in the chat room also, so you guys can have that link of where we're going to go. I'm just going to share this here. Okay, you guys can see my browser, right?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so this is the HumanWare website, so www.humanware.com. So you make sure that, well, if you're in the States, it's going to detect you that you're in the United States. And then here, there's a couple of tabs on the top. So you got home, blindness, low vision, or support. So what I want to do is I'm going to click on support. And I'm going to go scrolling down, and in the devices here, several devices are available. I have Matt Connect. So if I click on Matt Connect, You have several other links, but the link that I want is tablet reset and installation procedure. If I click on that, I'm sorry, it's going to be install. Now that tablet reset installation procedure, as you can see, if I tap on that, it's going to download a docx document, and that's going to explain everything that we're doing here right now. So you can download that, print it out, and follow these instructions, and it's exactly what I'm doing here today in this webinar. But if you select here, install apps for APH, click on that, it's going to open up a Google Drive. And in this Google Drive, you have two documents. You have the first one is the procedure, the Word document, and the second one is a zip file. What you want to do is that you want to download the zip file by clicking that little arrow that's on the top left corner of that icon, if I can say it. So if I click that, it's going to say, well, it can contain viruses, but it always does that. It always gives you that that pop-up. So just say download anyways. No, not worry. There's no viruses that are going to be installed on your computer. It's just to download the zip file. So you click on save, and it's going to be saved on your computer. Now, if I go to my computer, can you guys see my computer, or is it still on the web browser?
I see the APH Google Drive.
Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing, and I'm going to start sharing my screen. Okay, so now I guess you guys can see my screen right here.
Yes,
With the file browser.
yes.
So if I go in my file browser, this is where my zip file was downloaded. You can extract that zip file by right-clicking on the zip file and then selecting extract all, and it's going to extract it to a folder called the same name. I'm not going to do it. I have already done it before this webinar. So I already have the folder right here. Once you have extracted your zip file, you're going to have that folder. Go inside that folder. And in here, there's 17 applications that that we need to install to get your toolbox working. So what you want to do is that we're going to, I forgot something. Sorry about this. What I forgot to show you is before doing this, we're going to have to set up our Android tablet to a developer option. So everybody's going to be a developer on the Android system. So what you want to do is go into Android, go into applications, settings. I'm sorry about this step. I really skipped it. And then in settings, you go into about tablet, go down to build number, and start tapping on build number. And then all of a sudden you're going to say you are at 2 steps away from being a developer. And all of a sudden you're going to say there's going to be a pop-up saying you are now a developer. So cool, we're a developer now. So if I go back to my settings, you have a new options in my settings called developer options. I'm going to go in developer options, and then I'm going to scroll down the list, go in USB debugging, and I'm going to select that. I'm going to say yes, allow. Good. We got that going. Perfect. So this step has to be done before running anything that I was going to show you here. And also what I want to do before running it is I want to use my USB cable, which comes with the Mac Connect in the box. And I want to connect it on the side of the tablet here to my computer where I've downloaded my zip file and extracted my zip file. Okay. So if I do that, and then I come back, there we go. So we have a little pop-up that's going to pop up once I connected my USB, and it's going to look something like that. Allow USB debugging with some weird numbers there. You say what you want to do is that you're going to select always allow from this computer, that little checkbox, and click OK. Okay, good. So that's what we have to do before running anything from the file we've extracted. I'm going to go back to my file here. And then this is where we were previously here in my folder here, install apps for APH, and there is one file called install apps for APH.bat, bat file. You double click on that, and there's going to be a window that's going to open up, and what it's going to do, it's going to push all the applications that we need to install on the tablet and then install them. So you have 17 to go through. So we have a bit of time here when since this is executing here to answer any questions if there are any questions, or else we can maybe talk about the distance camera.
So you noticed you'd skipped a step. At what point would be the best time to do that? After which? After downloading your documents to start your process?
The step that I
To make
forgot.
the developer step.
Right after, right before. You can download. You can go to the website, download all your information. You have to do it. You have to do that step that I forgot before clicking my install apps for aph.bat. If you click on that and we didn't do the developer option, it's not going to work. It's going to fail. You're going to get a message in this black window here that I see. It's going to have an error message there saying that it cannot access the tablet.
So that's good to know. If you yourself miss the step of doing the developer and try to open that file, it will tell you it failed. And you will now know that the piece that you're missing is making yourself a developer.
Exactly.
Where, again, was the link or access to become a developer? Where on the tablet do you become a developer?
Oh, you want me to show it again?
Can you while that's running?
I can show that while it's running. I'm going to stop sharing my screen because I think I have just a little small window for my camera here.
Yes. There you go.
Okay, so we got a bigger screen. So to access or to give access to developer option, you go into the Android system. So in this screen right here, so 4-finger or 5-finger press and hold in Prodigy will bring you to this screen. And then you're going to tap on that, the little circle with 6 dots in it. So it's a white circle with 6 dots in it. Tap on that, and these are all
Have a
the applications.
name?
It doesn't. I'd say it would be the all application icon because it's going to show you all the applications that are installed on the tablet. And here, what you want to do is that you want to click on settings, and then you're going to scroll to the bottom, and you're going to find about tablet. And then again in this menu, you're going to scroll to the bottom and find the option build number, and you're going to start tapping on it. And you're going to see a message. Until you see the message, you are now a developer. You can stop tapping on it. And then once you're a developer, you can have that developer options in settings. Once you do that, you go into developer options and then scroll and activate USB debugging just by clicking on it. So that's how you would do it.
Great.
So we're on application 11 right now. Once that's done, well, what we can do though is while this is running, you can, because we're going to need to do this after the usually, because in order to get the list of applications in the APH toolbox in the right order, we just need to clear the cache and to clear the memory for Prodigy. So what you want to do is go back to settings and then select apps. And then in apps, again, they're all in alphabetical order. You can scroll down and find Prodigy. Now right now the list is changing because I'm installing. So you're going to press on Prodigy. And in here, you're going to press on storage. And you're going to tap clear cache and clear data. And we're good. So we're going to wait until we're all finished with the installation We're good. So I'm just gonna show you here the message that I got once all my applications are installed. So you see my black window here. So everything has been installed up to the application 17, and then it's gonna say success, and it's gonna push a file app list, and then it's gonna say press any key to continue. So I'm gonna press any key. There is no any key, just press enter. That's fine. And we're good to go. So we're gonna go back to my tablet here and start Prodigy. So I'm just gonna hit that home button. Now, since we've cleared everything, it's updating the voices again, and then it's gonna check my license. And then we should have everything in our APH toolbox. Let's go take a look. So APH toolbox, and there we have it. You got all the applications that we've pushed and installed on the or in the APH toolbox. Now, if you want to play around with this and you want to add some more applications in here, you can do that. One maybe application that can be helpful is Chrome for web browsing. So what you want to do on the top right corner, there's a gear button. Tap on the gear button, and then you can select choose application. And here you see that there's a couple of applications here that have checkboxes on the right-hand side. That means those are the ones that are already included in the list. But here my Chrome doesn't have that checkbox. So I'm just gonna tap on Chrome. I'm gonna have that checkbox that just appeared, and then go back to my list. And it's gonna be the first one on the top right now. You can move the order of those applications if you like by going again in the gear button, organize applications, and then I'm gonna select Chrome, and there's gonna be a little plus or minus that are gonna appear at the bottom here. So I'm gonna say minus, and it's gonna move down the list. Once you're satisfied, just click back, and Chrome now is the third application down the list. So I've changed the order of my applications here. So you can do that. You can set up other applications also in here. So now we got the tablet reset. We've installed our voices. We have installed everything in our APH toolbox. Now the next thing that we need to do, and this could be also a final thing, is to set up your distance camera. So bear with me here. I'm just gonna change my webcam so that you can see my face with my little camera. So the camera here, it's a Wi-Fi camera. There is a little door at the bottom that you can open up just by pulling the little tab. And in here, right under the door here, there's a little password, and it says also, what does it say exactly here? It says the model, and then there is a password that's written here, and the SSID. So what you want to take down is the SSID. So it's going to be a Pix Pro dash SL10 dash some letters. They're all different for any, for each camera, they're all different. Each camera has their own identifier. And then the password though is the same password for any camera. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So you can mark this down for reference. Make sure also before closing the door, make sure that the battery is really pushed in, because you see that little yellow clip that's in here. Sometimes the battery just comes out a bit and the camera won't start. So just push on the battery so that you're sure that the clip is clipped correctly. Once that's done, you can close the little door. And I'm going to show you how to connect now, or how to pair my camera to the Mat Connect. So again, the camera, there's a little power button right on the top here. To turn it on, you press on it. We're gonna go and turn it on right now. Okay. So what you wanna do, turn on the camera, and then we are going, as you notice, there is no distance icon nowhere in Prodigy to be found. That's because there was no camera that was paired to Prodigy. So what you wanna do is go into the Prodigy settings, go into System, And here there is Wi-Fi setup. So I'm going to tap on Wi-Fi setup, allow. And then if your Wi-Fi is not on, you're gonna be requested to turn on your Wi-Fi. But here my Wi-Fi is on. I have other options: Wi-Fi networks and saved networks. I'm gonna go into Wi-Fi networks, and these are all the Wi-Fi possibilities or networks that I have around me. If you don't see your Pix Pro, you can start scanning again just by tapping Scan for Wi-Fi. Which is not showing. So if it's not showing, you can press the power button on the camera and then press it again. So you turn it off and on. Or maybe it's already in my saved networks. No, it's not. Good. Okay, so you see what I'm doing here? I'm trying to go back and forth. If you don't see it in Prodigy, we're going to try it out in Android. Go into Settings, in Wi-Fi. It just showed up. Good. So I'm going to go back to Prodigy because I'd like to show you in Prodigy how to do this. So Wi-Fi networks. And now it just showed up PixPro-SL10 and underscore. And those 4 letters or numbers are going to be different for each camera. So you select the one that is yours. So mine right now is right here. So I'm going to tap on that. I'm going to tap on connect. And the password again is the same for any camera. Is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you're not sure of what you've pressed because you don't see the numbers, you can press that little I icon on the right, and then you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Once you're done, click the check mark on the keyboard, and it should, if everything works, it should connect to it.
So while it's connecting, is there a Canvas app that you can add to Prodigy, or not to Prodigy, to the Android?
A Canvas app?
Yes, for Canvas to go to Canvas, which is a learning management system.
I'm not sure. There could exist an app for a Canvas.
Canvas has an app as its own tool. I think they're wondering, can they add that?
If it's available on the Play Store, yes, you can download it and install it. And Canvas, is Canvas to take notes or annotations and things like that?
It's a entire learning management system where you can take courses, turn in documents,
I never
hold
tried it. I
discussion
never.
boards.
If they have an application on Android and they support Android 6, there would be no problem in going into
Okay.
the Play Store and trying it out and see to download and install it. Yeah, for sure. And then you can add it to the APH toolbox to have easy access through Prodigy. So now we've connected to our distance camera, and if I go back to my main menu, I should have my distance icon, which should be right here. So I do have my distance icon. So if I click, if I put my little stand here, and I'm going to place it either on the left or on the right hand side of my Mat Connect on my stand, and then tap on my distance application, I should be able to connect, and there we go. So I'm connected now to my distance camera. So this is how you pair your distance camera. Once this is done, you don't have to touch that again. It's done, it's over. It's always going to be paired with this device. Okay. One last thing that we can look at is if I undock or I disconnect my tablet from my stand, okay, like I just did, and then reconnected, what could happen is that once the stand is detected for the first time, there's a little pop-up that's going to show here. Don't worry about it. Once you do this once, that pop-up is only going to show up the first time you're going to dock to the stand once you reset. And it's good to do this at least once before giving the device to the student. Get this pop up and then check the little checkbox here, use by default for this USB device. Just tap on that. So you have that checkbox in green and then click OK. And that's the only time that you're gonna get that pop up. It's when you do it for the first time, when you're resetting the tablet and you're undocking, redocking the tablet, you're gonna get that pop up. Once you've checked that little box, it will not show up again. Good, so everything is set up. So now you can start using the Mat Connect as you wish, but I'd like to go through a couple of more settings here. There was a question at the beginning of the webinar, how can we use the Bookshare, or how can we connect to Bookshare? There's a book application that you can go into here, and then on the right-hand side, there is a little gear button that you can tap on, and I'm gonna Wi-Fi setup. I should be connected automatically. That's I am okay. I'm going to go back. I should be connected, which I'm not. If that happens, you know why? I'm going to show you why. That is because we set up the Wi-Fi when doing the Android tutorial. And sometimes it can get confused when it's done in Android, when the Wi-Fi connection is done in Android and it's done in Prodigy. So what we want to do, I'm just going to go into my settings in Android, Wi-Fi, and then I'm going to select my my network connection to my Wi-Fi, and I'm going to say forget. And I'm going to go back to Prodigy. I'm going to go back to my books application, my little gearbox, Wi-Fi setup, Wi-Fi networks, and then I'm going to go choose my Wi-Fi network connect. Now everybody closes their eyes so that you don't see my Wi-Fi password. Doesn't matter. I'm in Montreal, Canada, so you won't be able to connect to it anyways. Once you're connected, you should have that. Now I'm connected to my internet, and I'm going to go back to my books, my library. Once you choose any of these options here, search a book, browse a book, or my library, it's going to ask you for your credentials, for your Bookshare account credentials. So right now, books is only works with Bookshare. So if you do have a Bookshare account for your student, so I'm thinking here, you're as a teacher, I would have a teacher's account, and I can assign some reading material to my students, and I would have to created an account for my student. This is where I would put in my student account, and once it's put in there, then you have access to, let's say, the reading list that you've shared to the student. Like I said, this is only working on Bookshare for now. The next version coming up really soon, we'll be able to be connected to other libraries. Like I heard that somebody from Canada was logged in. So from Canada, we're going to be able to connect to CELA, which is the library in Canada, and you'll be able also to connect to audiobooks. So that's coming very soon, and it's going to be working with other libraries. But this is how you would connect to Bookshare or set up the credentials for Bookshare for your student. Now, let's say you already know what kind of prompts or visually the visual prompts that your student has. You can go into settings, you can change the colors that of your background. So if that student prefers white on black, you can change all that. So all the system will be white on black, or any other colors. We do offer several other colors, so you can change that for your student. Also, if you're working with younger students, you can set different levels of interfaces on your Mat Connect. So we have 3 levels. Right now, I just showed you, or the default one is the advanced mode or the advanced interface. But if I select basic and then go back, this is only really your basic level of interface. You have your different color contrasts that you can set here, and that loops through it. You have access to your distance camera by tapping the second icon, and you got access to zoom in, zoom out, zoom out. So you don't have the possibility of taking capture. You don't have the possibility of doing OCR whatsoever. It's really just a dumb magnifier. So once your young student is used to the touch screen and is able to use it, you can also use at the same time that there's a little screw that you can put right here. I don't know if I got a right focus here, but there's a little hole right here that you put in a screw here, which comes with the Mac Connect, and you can lock that clip. So if you're with a young student that is always playing with that clip and you're scared that the student will break the tablet because it falls, you can lock that clip and the tablet will be locked in place in the stand. So you can use that in combination with the different levels of interfaces. If your student gets older and he's able to use a touchscreen and is able to use all this and would like to have like an OCR done or a possibility of capturing and having a gallery, then you can move up to the uh, intermediate interface. And what you want to do to change that, you press and hold the contrast button for approximately 5 seconds, and you're going to be brought to a menu. And you want to go into settings, user interface, interface, and then you can choose standard interface. And so that's the next level up. If I go back, you'll notice that the button banner at the bottom here, there's a couple more buttons. So you have a gallery button. So if you press on that, it's going to bring you to a gallery. Right now my gallery is empty, but you can capture a document and it's going to be stored automatically in that gallery. You still have the contrast button that you can loop through different colors that you can set here. You have access to your distance camera, and you have access to a capture button, which is going to take your capture and do the OCR automatically and do the plus minus, which is the zoom in, zoom out of a document. Once that student is moving up and he wants to use more apps, then you can go into the advanced mode interface. Again, just go and click on the contrast button for about 5 seconds. You'll be brought to the same menu as previously. Tap on settings, user interface, interface, and then you can choose advanced, and we're brought back to the menu that we had previously. So I think we covered everything that we needed to cover. So that's how you set up your Mat Connect. It could be a bit tedious at the beginning because these are the first time you're going to do these steps. But the more you do it, the more you get the hang of it. They're very easy steps to follow. You just have to take the time to do them.
Okay, well, will the APH toolbox install instructions also work with a Prodigy Connect?
Yes, you can follow the same procedure, except it's going to tell you how to reset the tablet, how to install Prodigy, how to connect your distance camera. But the part for installing the different apps, that will not work because you don't have the APH toolbox application. So you can do all the rest except for that part.
Okay, and question about the battery life of the camera. Someone is saying that theirs is only lasting a few hours.
Yeah.
What do you suggest, or are they doing something wrong?
No, it is true. The camera does last just a couple of hours, and that's one of the main comments that I get. Sorry, here I'm just moving around here. I'm just going to show you a little accessory that will be put very soon in the box, or you can request it if you've bought a Mat Connect. Like really like now, or and you don't have it. But basically what I've been telling people to use is a battery pack, an external battery pack. So what you do with this is let me just get a little wire, but it comes with a USB wire that you can use in order to connect it to your Mat Connect. So I'm just going to take my Mat Connect here. And what I did on mine, on my battery, is that I put a little Velcro on the top here, and I just Velcro it on the stand, which is held there. And with that the cable that comes with it, I connect my battery to my distance camera, and you can have a full day of work using the distance camera. That could be one solution. And they're fairly inexpensive, these battery packs also. So you can go to the HumanWare website. You can find these also on sale. Yeah.
Okay. I am going to say thank you. We can take a few more of these offline, but I want to say thank you, Eric, for getting us started with our new school year, and we can't wait to our next Mac Connect session.
Well, thank you very much for having me, and I'm always happy to do these. I'm always happy to see the responses also. All the teachers are connecting and asking questions. I love those. And don't be afraid to ask the questions, because that's how we get the technology in the hands of the students as quickly as possible.